Hey everybody. It's Thursday afternoon and it's been a long week. There's a lot going on and a lot of people talking about a lot of things. There's a lot of information coming at us from all directions. I've heard people say just today, I feel like my hair's on fire. I'm running as hard as I can run to keep up with all that's going on. Um, we're all having to make major adjustments to what we do and how we do it. Many of us are working at home for the first time. Many of us are having to set up and get used to Zoom and all the other services that provide online connection and video chat. We're all in this and trying to make adjustments. Some of you don't have the luxury of staying at home. Some of you still have to be out there in the world doing your job and um, are at a different kind of risk and a different kind of exposure. Some of you are worried about your jobs and worried about your businesses and worried about work and people that you work with and love who work in hospitals and work in doctors' clinics and who have yet a different kind of exposure to risk and infection. So this is the first in a series of videos that I'm going to produce just to get us together, just to have a moment of reprieve. I've been working hard with the church council to set up a number of important things. One, we feel like it's important that we lead the ethical and communal responsibility to um, minimize the biological risk of the coronavirus. And so we have canceled all of our um, gatherings of 10 or more people at a time. We ask that you respect that and ask that you practice it as a part of your faith practice. Um, Ironically, church always encourages us to get closer to each other, to be in the places where these things are most difficult. Jesus went to lepers and laid his hands on them and touched them, which was definitely a violation of the risk of biological spread of disease. And yet he did it. I'm not saying or suggesting that you should do the same, but what I am suggesting is that we, as a way of loving neighbor and taking care of neighbor, that we respect the guidance that we're being given to uh, create as little contact with one another as possible physically. With that said, it is also our spiritual responsibility to stave off anxiety and isolation. And so we're wanting to also create opportunities to connect with one another meaningfully. One of the ways we're going to do that is at the garden. We feel like we can still be together physically without creating more risk. The garden is an outside space. We can easily stay 10 or more feet apart from each other, work a couple of rows apart, work at opposite ends of the row, and still be in each other's company and have connection with each other. So I want to encourage us to do that. I'm going to send out very shortly a schedule, and it will probably look something like Monday, Wednesday, Friday at different times during the day, and then on Sundays to get together at Watson Green and do some garden work. It is an opportunity to be outside, to get fresh air, to see each other's faces, to hear each other's voices. In addition, we're also going to create opportunities to gather online. At first, at the beginning of the week, I was hearing a lot of people say, well, don't overwhelm Zoom, don't overwhelm our online facilities that create opportunities for us to connect online. But I've been on at least half a dozen Zoom calls this week, and I'm seeing nothing in the news of these platforms crashing. So I'm beginning to have a change of, a change of heart about our gathering together via video. And so on Sunday mornings for worship, I'm hoping and planning to have a public gathering on Zoom for our worship time together, maybe a 20 to 25-minute service. And I'll send out contact and link information for all of that. Also, a number of you have asked to be able to gather together in the meantime via Zoom. Shannon actually suggested having potluck Wednesday nights to gather together, to have a meal, to be on Zoom together, to connect and see each other's faces and hear each other's voices. I think that's a fantastic idea, and I'm helping Shannon get that set up. So look for that link as well. This Sunday is Potluck Sunday, and so as a part of the worship service, we will extend that out also to mealtime. We'll be sending out a recipe in the next day or so for a meal that we all have things on the pantry shelf to make, and we can have that meal together and do that all by Zoom as well. So those are the kinds of things that you can be anticipating. Also, the council is functioning now as the care team of the congregation, and we've divvied out everyone in the Farm Church family's name, email address, and phone number. You should be hearing from your council member probably once a week for the foreseeable future, just to check in and see how you're doing. We want to make sure you feel connected. If there's anything that comes up, if there's a particular need that you have, or if there's a particular concern that you have that you feel like the council can respond to or the church can respond to meaningfully, we want to do that for you. Please tell your council member when they call you. If there's something that's going on that is more confidential or more sensitive, I want you to feel free to call me directly. My number is 919-972-9506. You can call day or night. Those are the things that we're doing in the moment. The council has also agreed to meet by Zoom weekly to sort of keep up with all the things that are going on. It feels like things are changing enough each day that a meeting once a week is equivalent to a meeting once a month at this point. So we will be meeting weekly to sort of assess where are we, what are we doing, how are things working, and then excuse me, see how we're doing and make any adjustments that we need to make. So that's the news from Farm Church. We hope you're well. We hope you're safe. And please keep your eye out at this YouTube channel for prayer services that pop up every couple of days probably, as well as the Sunday service. Will be recorded and then posted to the YouTube channel as well in case you miss it. Again, you remember every day to read Scripture. Remember every day to pray. And remember every day you are not alone. We are all in this together. And the God of the ages walks with us even through the valley of the shadow of death. There's no need to fear evil. Go in peace, friends. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.